What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of FBOMB. Here I'm going to be talking about motorcycle track prep, what you need to do before you go to the racetrack with your motorcycle. First off, let's talk about gear. Of course, you're going to need a DOT approved motorcycle helmet. Now, I ran into an issue to where I couldn't decide if I was going to go with a tinted or non-tinted motorcycle helmet. Here are the pros and cons of each one. If you go with a tinted helmet, chances are you're not going to be able to see as much of the track as you're going to want to. Yeah, the sun might be beaming down at you, and yes, the tinted visor will block that sun, but what about the parts of a track where there is no sun? The shaded parts. You want to be able to see the entire track the entire time. So, what I recommend, instead of going with a full tinted motorcycle helmet, I recommend getting a helmet with a drop-down visor. That way you have the option of tint or no tint, no matter what the weather may occur that day. Next, we're going to be talking about motorcycle track gloves. Now, hence the track gloves. Most people who ride on streets use just the motorcycle gloves that come up to the wrist. What you will need to do is get yourself a pair of gauntlet style motorcycle gloves. Gauntlet style motorcycle gloves are the type of gloves that come up halfway up the forearm. The reason behind this, it's more protection, and you honestly want the glove to go over the tracksuit, not under. Most gauntlet style motorcycle gloves come with the extra protection, protecting your wrist and keeping your wrist in place in case of an accident. Definitely worth it, and as far as I know, it is a must-have if you were doing a track day. Now let's talk about suits. There's all types of suits you can buy. You can buy a one-piece leather suit, a two-piece leather suit, which will just be the pants and then the jacket, and then they combine together to create one suit. What I honestly recommend, I do recommend getting a full leather suit, just one piece. It's much less of a hassle. Yes, it's a little bit more difficult getting off, but those suits are designed for track. They have the proper protection, and you do not have to worry if they somehow come undone if you're going for the two-piece tracksuit. Now, what I recommend with the tracksuit, wear them in. If you get a brand new tracksuit and you go riding the next day, it's going to be tight. You don't want this. You want that tracksuit to be worn in and comfortable fully. Make sure you get the right size. Too loose of a tracksuit could cause injury in case of an accident. Too tight, you just won't feel comfortable on the track and on your motorcycle going into the lanes. You want that suit to be just perfect. So take your time when it comes to picking the right size suit. Now, we talked about tracksuits. What you want to do, and this is almost a must, and I don't see a whole lot of people talking about it, compression suit underneath your tracksuit. There's two reasons why compression suits are important. So, what are compression suits? Basically, they are a nylon style clothing that you wear mostly when you go to the gym. They're very, very tight and very stretchy. Now, the ones that I picked out are specifically made for hot weather to keep your body cool. Why is this important? It's important because you don't want to sweat underneath your tracksuit. It's going to be hot already at the track, whether if it's a cold day. When you're on the track and you're going 100 plus miles an hour for 20 minutes at a time, you're going to sweat. It's going to get warm. Second reason why you want to stay dry underneath your tracksuit. If you have ever worn a leather tracksuit, trying to get that thing off without the compression suit is hard. It is tough. Leather and skin and sweat do not mix for a specific reason. It's hard to get off. So take my word for it. Go on Amazon. You can buy a compression suit for about 20-30 bucks. Very well worth it. Yes, you look kind of dorky without the suit on. If you're just wearing tights, you look kind of girly, but it will be worth it. Do it. Now, boots. Boots are another crucial piece of the gear that you want to be just right and perfect for your protection and for your comfort. You want to make sure you buy the track style boots. The track style boots come all the way up, and don't confuse these with dirt style boots and track boots, because they do look similar. So if you go into a motorcycle shop, cycle gear, whatever, you want to make sure you ask the people which ones are made for track, because it is crucial that you get the right kind of boots. These are your ankles you want to take care of. Be sure to pick out the right kind. And again, wear in those boots. When I first bought my boots and I hopped on my bike, I could not find third. I couldn't bend my ankles enough to be able to shift, I had to wear them in. Literally wear them around your house for a whole day, maybe two, and do not take them off. Just go and do your regular thing with the boots on. Yeah, you might get looked at, you're walking around with space boots on, but in the long run, it benefits you 100%. Now, all this gear, you realistically want to wear all of it, and you do not want to go to the track and feel like everything is brand new and you're not used to it, and it is not safe. You want to make sure that you're used to the gear that you're wearing. So please take the time, take a couple days, take a week and wearing this gear just to make sure you're completely 100% comfortable for it before you enter that track. Now your bike, your motorcycle, the thing we came to ride on the track, this is very important. There are certain parts you have to remove, there are certain parts you have to tape off. There are certain things you have to do on the inside of your bike in order to take it on the track. So, first thing that we have to do, we have to remove or tape off the mirrors. Why is this? There's two reasons why we have to remove or tape off the mirrors. Number one reason, that people at the track do not want you focusing on what's behind you. That's how you get into an accident and you stop losing concentration on what's going on in front of you. When you're on the track, you're focused on the person in front of you. The guy behind you is focused on you in front of him. So there is no looking back, there is no turning back, there's no distractions. Just look forward, know the track, ride the track, and don't worry about what's going on behind you, because whatever happened behind you had already happened, and if it already happened, it hasn't happened to you. So continue forward on the track, do not look back. The second reason why they want you to remove or tape off your mirrors, if you happen to get into an accident, they do not want the shards of glass that could break and shatter throughout the track and cause debris on the track. The one thing that they try to avoid at all costs is debris on the track, because it only causes more mayhem, more accidents, and hopefully no more fatalities on the track. If you do remove the mirrors, for my bike, the Yamaha R6, I was able to buy block-off plates just to cover up the holes. Looks a lot nicer, and if you're looking to get photography work done at the track, it will look clean. Now you have the option to remove the back pegs. Some people like to remove the back pegs because it makes the bike look much cleaner for the photographs, less weight on the bike. Yeah, it's a plus. But if you do happen to keep the pegs on, what those pegs could do, the rear pegs, in case of an accident, in case you drop your bike, it could actually protect the outer skeleton of your bike, meaning the fairings. So it's really up to you if you want to remove or not remove the back pegs. But there is a consequence if you do keep the back pegs on. If you do happen to fall or go down or slide out and those back pegs happen to catch on any kind of crack or anything on the track, it could cause your bike to flip and cause even more damage. So it's kind of a hit and miss if you do choose to remove these back pegs. The coolant is very important. Again, with the accidents, if you happen to get into an accident, they do not want any green coolant on the track. It's very slippery and it's very dangerous if someone happens to run over that green coolant in the middle of the track. What they do recommend is engine ice, which is a blue liquid. You can pick it up at Cycle Gear, it's about 24 bucks, or distilled water. Distilled water, you can pick it up at any grocery store and it's very, very cheap. I think I got a gallon of distilled water for $1.50 at my local grocery store. So look into engine ice or distilled water before you enter the track. Now again, we talked about taping off parts. We talked about taping off your side mirrors or removing them. Other parts you might need to tape off if they are made of glass. If they're made out of plastic, you don't have to worry about it, but you will have to, if they are glass, tape off the headlights and the rear tail light. And again, it's only if they're made out of glass. And if they are made out of plastic and you don't feel like taping them off, all you have to do is remove these items from unplugging them. Go into your bike, take off the fuses, just unplug them, whatever you have to do, just to make sure none of those lights, the indicator lights, the turning signals, the brake lights, the headlights, make sure they're all off. You have to remove your license plate. Why is this? They do not want you riding with the license plate, because if that sucker happens to fly off of your bike, it is a potential weapon. That thing can get cut open and slice someone open It's a must. Remove your license plate or any metal that just doesn't need to be on the bike. Just take it off. It's very important, and you could be saving a life by doing it. Plus, they will not let you ride on the track if you do not take off the license plate. So if you don't want to listen to me, you're going to have to listen to your track. Tires. Tires are very important. They're not very particular on what kind of tires you have to have on your bike, but they are particular that the tires have at least 50% or more life in the tires before you go on the track. When you go into the track day, when you enter, the first thing you're going to do is go to motorcycle inspections. The inspectors are going to be looking at tons of things: tire pressure, chain loosened, if the chain is not tightened enough. If the bike is dirty, they're going to take an even deeper look into your bike. So what's important before you enter the track is go through your bike. Make sure your tires are good. If not, get some new tires or partially used tires. Check your chain, clean your chain, lube up your chain. Make sure your chain is tight enough. You don't want it super tight, you don't want it super loose. They recommend a ½ inch to an inch of movement up and down the chain. Lastly, what we're going to be talking about is knowing your track. Whatever track you're going to, you want to look it up on Google, look up a map, look up a video of someone who rode that track, and study these turns before you enter the track. Know what you're getting yourself into. There may be certain turns on that track that even the most experienced riders might have difficulties with. It's good to know these kind of turns and these kind of situations that you might be putting yourself in, and not double checking into it and studying up could cost you your bike. So it's very beneficial that you study up on whichever track you happen to be going to. Lastly, the last thing we're going to talk about are flags. Flags are very, very, very important as far as riding on the track. Here is a short clip of my first track day, me going and them talking about certain flags.
You guys, a yellow flag, a standing yellow flag is a caution flag. When that flag is out, something has happened on course ahead of you that you need to be aware of. Waving yellow flag, that's extreme caution. That means something has just happened ahead of you that you really need to be aware of. And just like a standing yellow flag, there is no passing on a waving yellow flag. The debris flag, that's a red and yellow striped flag. When the debris flag comes out, that means there is something on course, that you need to be aware of. If it's water or oil, we're going to stop the course, get it cleaned up for your safety, and get you guys back out as quickly as possible. And just like the yellow flag, there is no passing on a debris flag. The meatball flag, that's a black flag with a big orange dot on it. When that flag comes out, it will be displayed and pointed at you. If it's displayed and pointed at you, Jason So anyway, when that meatball flag comes out, it's displayed and pointed at you. You've done an infraction on course, or perhaps something's wrong with your bike. It may be smoking, maybe a part's flapping around, maybe you didn't tighten or strap your helmet, something, right? So when that flag's displayed, pointed at you, complete your lap, talk to the guys at grid, and they're going to let you know why that flag was displayed and pointed at you, the meatball flag. The black flag, hopefully we don't see that flag come out today, but the black flag is going to be an indication to pit. Black flag means pit. What it is there's something happened on course that we need to address.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment down below, comment away, let me know what you guys think. And please, please like this video and subscribe. The next video I'm planning on doing is the actual track day. I'm going to be doing a whole video, different angles of me riding on the track, talking about rider position and different turns and how I take the turns. And I'm going to be trying to increase my chances of going from C to B. My goal is to go from Class C, which is the bottom level, to Class B, which is the intermediate, and someday get into Class A to where the real riders go. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Again, comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, and thank you for joining me on this episode of the FBOMB. Peace.
Let's go.